Week 4 of the college football season this last weekend was nothing but magical. There's so many great headlines that I kind of wanted to go through a little bit of a rundown for. You let me know if I've missed anything in the comments below. First and foremost, we're going to talk about the Alabama game. That game lived up to the hype. Alabama, Georgia, top 5 teams in the country, and it was literally everything that you could imagine a heavyweight battle to look like, right? You came out Georgia kind of actually looking flat in this game, which I was, to my surprise, and Alabama came and looked like they were a team on a mission. Jalen Milroe, I cannot talk enough about how great he played. He really put the team on his back. He passed for over 374 yards and had another over 100 yards rushing in that game. Insane. When was the last time you seen an Alabama QB do that at such a high level? And at the end of the day, we don't give enough credit for where he was, almost getting benched last year by USF, to now leading this team and dominating Georgia in the first half. At one point, I think they were up 28-0. We thought this was going to be a cakewalk, but we all understand this is still a Georgia team that had a lot of great talent and a lot of self-respect for them and a lot of ego. They weren't going out like that. Kirby Smart generated such a great game. They took the lead in the fourth quarter. But let's talk about that guy, Ryan Williams. This guy is only 17 years old, and what he is doing right now at the college game in only his freshman year, it's outstanding. When I mean outstanding, for him to have that many, watch the highlights of himself. Check out some of these highlights of what he was doing. It will tell you all you need to know about this young man. He's going to be an absolute baller in the future. I can't wait to see enough more about him. Let's talk about the college stars. Let's talk about these college freshman receivers. You have Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams, both freshmen trying to vie out for who's the best in the country. They play both at a great level. Jeremiah Smith, they played Michigan State. Ohio State played Michigan State this last weekend, and he put on performance again with 83 yards and a touchdown, and just kind of just showing what this guy is doing week in and week out with his acrobatic, great touchdown, one-handed grabs. He is going to be a phenomenal athlete. I'm excited about what he's going to do in the future. Ohio State's already known for putting out some great receivers, and he might be challenging for one of the best receivers on his team with Ibuka sitting right there, going to be a first-round pick himself. I can't speak enough more about this team. I think there's a lot of great opportunities, a lot of great freshmen, and then the talent's coming in and week out. We need to do something more to get them on the field, because it's you can already see guys are ready to play at a high level early on. Next, we're going to talk about Colorado. They're 4-1. Their big win against UCF. I can speak for everybody. Think that I did not expect for Colorado to win this. They struggled these last couple of weeks after beating. I was not expecting Colorado to win this game, just from what I was seeing in the practice with Dion making the team have to start over. But then from them barely beating Baylor team, that was, I thought, a decent team at best. For them to come in and beat a 3-0 UCF team, I have to give kudos to Dion, Coach Prime, and the whole coaching staff over there at Colorado. Because this team right now, Shador is playing lights out. Travis Hunter, can we talk more about this guy? Unfortunate to get another 100-yard game with a pick, but what he's doing right now is insane. I think he had like almost 90 yards. He had a pick. The guy's playing lights out. He's playing 100-plus snaps every week. Doesn't even look tired out there. I need to know what he's on. He's literally what you call being built different. They've already matched how many games they won last year and this early in the season. So I'm excited for everything else that they're going to do. Anything now is just going to be a cherry on the top for Colorado. They know that they have the talent to win, I think, at least get to a bowl game and at least jive and play for the Big 12 championship. We'll see. They might be looking in the playoff spot if they continue this run. Next, we're going to talk about is Arch Manning finally getting his first start. He played against Louisiana. He played against Mississippi State, which is Texas's first SEC win. Especially joining the league. I think he played pretty well. He went 26 for 34, essentially throwing around 324 yards and 2 touchdowns, and added about 30 yards rushing with the scamper right there. I think Arch is playing at a level where most teams would want him as a starter. But it showed in the game, and it wasn't early. It was early on with a couple interceptions that he threw. But there's a difference of being an assistant for a long time, which I think Quinn Ewers brings to this team. I know that he's playing well, and I'm excited to have him as a backup. But I think Quinn, if Texas wants to get to where they want to go, they're going to need Quinn back. This team is poised to make a huge leap in the SEC. I know they have Georgia coming up in a couple weeks, actually Oklahoma in the next couple weeks as well. They're going to need a lot of leadership right now. I think what Quinn brings is the intangibles that you can't see: a big arm, just a pocket presence, understanding the system, being in it for 3 years. I'm not mad about what Arch did, but it's showing how important leadership is, and what Quinn brings to this team is true leadership and opportunity, and he's been there before. So I think with him coming back, it's going to make a huge difference for this Texas team. But hey, pay no attention. This team is going to be good regardless of who's behind center. We're going to talk about the Miami game. Man, that game was way closer than I believe. Virginia Tech barely lost that game, and to me, I wasn't even wanting to talk about it. I'm like, Cam Ward played great, first and foremost. I want to talk about Cam Ward, the way he's playing for this team. He's the difference maker Miami needed for a very long time, and finally having a quarterback. You know, they've always had a lot of good talent, but just never anybody behind the helm that could really take them over the top. They're 5-0 right now, but I want to talk about that last second play. The ACC, I'm very suspicious about that, right? Because it was called a touchdown on the field, and then there wasn't no indisputable evidence to show that they needed to overturn it, which, because I didn't believe, to my personally, I thought it was overturned. I didn't think it was a completion, but it's still, like, they were called a touchdown on the field, and it took 6 minutes for them to make a decision. I really think this is a look on the ACC of wanting to keep an undefeated team in there. You know, it kind of just helps their chances and the playoff spot, trying to get as many teams as possible. And I'm not saying it's true, but I would not be surprised if that was the argument, because 5-0 Miami teams looks better than 3-2 Virginia Tech team. So at the end of the day, I'm just glad the Miami won. Let's see how far they can go, especially with their huge matchup coming up with Clemson soon. Next, we're going to talk about is USC, their comeback against Wisconsin. Wisconsin came out, and this is, like I said, the first Big Ten matchup for them as well. Wisconsin came out very strong, you know, being able to put up points. I think they were up to 10, actually up 20 points at one point in the game. But then USC stormed back at 28 points, unanswered points in the second half. Miller Moss led that team back. Lincoln Riley is still trying to defeat the I don't have a defense allegations, I can't win the big game allegations, and he's doing a good job right now. Right now, this team is poised to continuously keep doing well in the Big Ten. They just have to get out to. They just need to get out to a stronger start, because these come from behind wins aren't always going to save them. So I'm hoping that they can figure that out in practice, because I truly believe Lincoln Riley is a good coach, and I want to see USC have success in this lifetime. So, and then last but not least, we're going to just talk about Ole Miss. This team, I always put this was my dark horse team to make the playoffs, because I think at the end of the day, I think they're such a good team. Jackson Dart, I think, is one of the top 4 QBs and coming out in this draft. And then obviously you have Lane Kiffin, an offensive genius. But when you play a Kentucky team and lose to them, that's Kentucky's first top 5 win in a very long time. And it was very just undesirable. You know, penalties really harmed Ole Miss in a huge way, especially towards the end, for them to get to that, because they, at one point last night, they're going to go kick the field goal, win the game. They just could not really get out of their own head, and these are just one of those games that, like you said, they're always ranked high. They build a lot of momentum, and then they let you down. They truly let you down, and this was the game that they should have won. But I've been saying kudos to Kentucky. They played 2 back-to-back hard games against Georgia and then obviously against Ole Miss. But it just shows more for Ole Miss in the way they lost. But you let me know in the comments, what games were you excited to watch this last weekend? What games did I not talk about that you want to hear? And what games are you looking forward to these next couple of weeks coming ahead? This college football season is underway. We're a quarter way through right now. I'm excited. You let me know.